the world has lied to you about what it means to be smart. Society has trained the masses to believe that intelligence is defined by the loudest person in the room, the one with the fastest retort, the most credentials, or the highest stack of superficial facts. They look at the person who talks endlessly and mistake verbal volume for intellectual weight. But in the realm of silent power, true intelligence isn't an exhibition. It is an architecture. The smartest individuals you will ever meet don't seek to prove they are intelligent. They seek to be effective. While the foolish spend their precious energy trying to dominate conversations, the truly brilliant are quietly manipulating the variables of their environment, their focus, and their future. They operate on a completely different psychological frequency. Today, we peel back the curtain on the quiet elite. These are the 5 strategic protocols that smart people deploy to navigate a chaotic world, and how you can use them to build your own untouchable empire. Protocol number 1: the information vacuum. When a foolish person enters a room, they feel an immediate, anxious urge to fill the space with their voice. They believe that if they aren't speaking, they are losing status. This is a severe cognitive glitch. Smart people do the exact opposite. They understand that information is the ultimate currency of power, and you cannot collect currency while your mouth is open. When you remain comfortably, intentionally silent, you create a psychological vacuum. Because human beings are inherently terrified of silence, the people around you will instinctively scramble to fill that vacuum. They will over-explain themselves. They will reveal their motives, their insecurities, and their strategies. By holding your frame and refusing to offer cheap commentary, you force others to reveal their hand while keeping yours completely hidden. You aren't just being quiet, you are conducting a data extraction. Protocol number 2: environmental engineering. The masses believe that highly successful, smart people simply possess a superhuman level of willpower. They think geniuses wake up every day and successfully fight off 1,000 temptations through sheer mental strength. This is an illusion. Smart people know that willpower is a finite, depleting asset. If you spend your entire morning fighting the urge to check your phone, reply to irrelevant drama, or consume cheap dopamine, you will have zero cognitive energy left. When it's time to make high-stakes decisions, smart people don't fight temptation. They eliminate it. They design their environment so that execution is entirely frictionless and distraction is mechanically impossible. They turn off notifications permanently. They physically isolate themselves during their peak execution hours. They treat their focus perimeter like a sovereign border. Stop trying to be stronger than your distractions. Build an environment where your distractions don't exist. Protocol number 3: radical emotional detachment. If you are easily provoked, you are easily controlled. It is that simple. Foolish people treat their emotions like volatile explosives. Anyone with a match can set them off. An insult, a bad driver, or an internet comment can derail their entire day and cause them to liquidate their mental equity into cheap drama. Smart people view an emotional reaction as an expensive luxury they cannot afford. When met with hostility, chaos, or disrespect, they don't react defensively. They observe. They treat the provocation not as a personal attack, but as a diagnostic report on the other person's lack of control. When someone tries to pull you into an emotional swamp and you respond with absolute, cool indifference, you completely shatter their leverage. Your calm isn't weakness, it is a shield that leaves your opponent punching the air until they exhaust themselves. Protocol number 4. Continuous model updating. The most dangerous person in the world is the one who thinks they have already arrived. Foolish people anchor their entire identity to being right. They adopt an opinion in their 20s and spend the rest of their lives desperately filtering reality to protect that fragile belief. Smart people do not care about being right, they care about getting it right. They view their brain not as a storage locker for permanent facts, but as an operating system that requires constant updates. When presented with new, superior data, they don't get defensive or double down on outdated ideas. They seamlessly delete the old code and install the new paradigm. They are intellectual mercenaries. They have no emotional loyalty to a strategy that no longer works or an opinion that has been proven false. They remain perpetual students because they know the moment you stop learning, your empire begins to decay. Protocol number 5. High-value asset allocation. To a smart person, time isn't something that just passes. It is the ultimate capital. The masses spend their time on liabilities. They spend hours scrolling through other people's lives, gossiping about events they cannot change, and engaging in low-vibration activities that leave them mentally and financially bankrupt. The intellectual elite treat their time like a venture capitalist treats money. Before they invest an hour into a conversation, a project, or a relationship, they calculate the return on attention. Will this conversation pay interest and wisdom? Will this project build long-term leverage? Will this environment elevate my frequency? If the answer is no, they execute a polite, silent exit. They are aggressively protective of their calendar because they understand that you cannot build a legendary future if you are constantly giving away your present for free. Intelligence is not a genetic lottery. It is a daily practice of containment, strategy, and sovereign execution. You do not need to convince the world that you are brilliant. You do not need the applause of the crowd or the validation of the loud masses. Let them have the noise. You take the results. Look at your daily routine. Audit your conversations. Clean your perimeter. It is time to stop playing the game by the rules of the foolish and start engineering your reality like a master architect. The blueprint has been laid before you. The choice to execute is yours. If you are ready to upgrade your operating system and join the silent elite, comment Intellect below. Subscribe to lock in the protocol. Stay untouchable.